Alright guys, for the first round, my opponent's first Pokemon is a Medicham. So this would be an even start. I do know that I do have a Wigglytuff in the back that will be doing super effective damage against him. Therefore, he will actually be countering his Medicham. Medicham being a Psychic and Fighting type Pokemon, Fairy types do super effective damage against Fighting types, but I do just decide to stick to my Politoed against this Medicham. I do know that Weather Ball will be doing a good amount of neutral damage. I do get my opponent to half health face, so I do have the damage advantage, and even better, my opponent does make a swap out into the second Pokemon, Obstagoon. So this does allow me to make a swap out into my Wigglytuff without having to worry about my Wigglytuff getting countered by a Jirachi or any Steel type Pokemon that will be doing super effective damage against my Wigglytuff. We do easily take care of that Obstagoon because once again, since he did make a swap out into that Obstagoon, he did get that swap cooldown. So my Wigglytuff will be able to come in and easily kill his Obstagoon. I do know that he still has that Medicham in the back, but my opponent does decide to make a swap out into his second Pokemon, a Clefable. Clefable being an only Fairy type Pokemon, both of us will be doing neutral damage against each other with our Fairy types. My Playlist does charge up. It is going to be doing a good amount of neutral damage, probably close to doing enough damage to faint him or be close to fainting him. My Wigglytuff does go down there, and I do decide to make a swap out into that Politoed because I do know that those Weather Balls will be charging very fast. Since he did already throw in a shield for one of my charge moves, I do decide to mirror that own shield, and we do get hit by a Psychic there that we did have a shield for. Weather Ball does charge up. This will definitely faint him from the health that he is at. And if he does decide to make a swap out into that Medicham at all, I will actually be able to make that swap out into my Meganium. So right there, since he did have 0 shield left, I did actually decide to make a swap out to my Medicham before he did make a swap out into his own Medicham, because my own Meganium would be able to go for the hard form down. Since he has no more shields, I do actually decide to throw in the Frenzy Plant right here to faint his Medicham, and my opponent's final Pokemon is the Clefable, who is very low. I do have those 2 Pokemon left, that Politoed and my Meganium, and my opponent does decide to surrender, allowing us to win the first round. Good game to my opponent. Alright guys, for the second round, my opponent's first Pokemon is a Nidoking. Nidoking being a ground and poison type Pokemon, this will be a very good start for us because once again, water types do super effective damage against ground types. So there may be a chance that we don't see a shield come through, so I did actually go for the Excellent there. My opponent does get to a charge move. I do know that Nidoking does have access to a lot of poison and ground type moves, one of them actually being Earth Power. We do get hit by a Mega Horn there. I did actually throw in a shield because it did also mirror one of my shields, so both of us are down by 1 shield, but I do have the damage advantage. That Weather Ball does instantly faint that Nidoking, and he does make a swap out into a Farfetch. That is great because my Wigglytuff will be able to come in and absolutely destroy that Farfetch. Farfetch being an only fighting type Pokemon, Fairy types will be doing super effective damage against him once again. That Weather Ball did do so much damage against him. Politoed is a very great start against in the Great League, especially for the Remix Cup once again, because a lot of people have found counters against Jirachis, like those Dark type Pokemon. So I do recommend having a Wigglytuff or a Fairy type Pokemon in the back as well. But Politoed has been a very strong starter so far in the Great League. I do recommend using him, especially with those Weather Balls, because they do charge up very fast, plus they do a good amount of neutral damage. My Wigglytuff did easily faint that Gardevoir there, allowing us to win the second round. Good game to our opponent. For the third round, my opponent's first Pokemon is a Scrafty. Scrafty being a dark and fighting type Pokemon. My Wigglytuff will absolutely destroy him, but once again, because there is going to be a chance that my Wigglytuff will be countered, I did decide to stick to my Politoed and get as much damage off as possible so that my Wigglytuff will be able to come in and get at least 2 charms off that will possibly faint him. So we do get our first shield from my opponents with our Weather Ball. I do have to get to another Weather Ball right here. He does actually throw in a Power Up Punch, so his attacks are doing a bit more damage. my Weather Ball does charge up. If he does actually decide not to shield, that does allow my Wigglytuff to come in once again, because those charms will just be doing super effective damage, double super effective damage actually, due to fairy types being super effective against both fighting types and dark types. So we do get hit by another power up punch that we didn't even have to worry about, because my Wigglytuff does come in once again, 2 charms that Scrafty right there, and my opponent's second Pokemon is a Hypno. Hypno being an only second type Pokemon, both of us will be doing neutral damage against each other. I do know that Hypno does have access to Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball being a ghost type charge move, if he does decide to throw it in, it will be doing not very effective damage against us, due to Wigglytuff being a normal and fairy type Pokemon. Just in case you didn't know that, my Politoed does charge up. It is going to be doing a good amount of damage. I'm probably fainting him from the health my opponent's Hypno is at right now. My Wigglytuff does successfully get him to half health, and I do actually decide to make a swap out into my Meganium, or my Politoed. The reason I made a swap out into my Politoed was because Politoed having Weather Ball plus Bubble, our charge moves will be charging up very, very fast. So I do actually decide to make a swap out into my Politoed to actually feint that Hypno. Another reason was I did see that Hypno did throw in Fire Punch being a fire type charge move. Fire types do not very effective damage against water types. My opponent's second to last Pokemon is a Registeel being an only steel type Pokemon. Both of us, he will be doing neutral damage with his charge moves, but my grass type moves will be resisted due to grass types being not very effective against steel types. So we do get hit by a Hyper Beam right there. My Frenzy Plant does charge up. It is going to be doing a lot of damage. And my Frenzy Plant, we do have to get to that excellent boom. Right here, it just does come down to whoever gets to the charge move first. Registeel's charge moves do tend up to charge up very fast, especially with Metal Claw. Metal Claw being a pretty strong steel type fast move. So because of that, he does actually have to take the risk of making the charge moves charge up very slow. We do successfully feint his Registeel, and his Hypno does come out. Good thing I didn't actually throw in the Weather Ball onto his Registeel, because that Weather Ball came in very handy in feinting this Hypno, allowing us to win the 4th round. Good game to our opponent. For the 5th and final round, my opponent's first Pokemon is a Mantine. Mantine being a water and flying type Pokemon, both of us will be doing not very effective damage with our water type moves. I didn't know that my Wigglytuff and Meganium will be doing very good against his Mantine right there. He does get to his charge moves. I do expect this to be something like a Bubble Beam. Bubble Beam being a water type charge move as well. Water types do not very effective damage against water types, but Bubble Beam does also give your opponent an attack debuff. So because of that, he did actually make a swap out into Hypno to try and counter my Politoed. So I do make a swap out into my own safe swap, a Wigglytuff. Both of us will be doing neutral damage against each other with our fairy type and psychic type moves. We do actually get hit by a Shadow Ball that was very good, because it was going to be doing not very effective damage. Once again, ghost types do not very effective damage against normal types. So that was very good, because we did take very little damage from that. We do get hit by a Fire Punch there that I did actually throw in a shield for. I did throw in a shield there because I was actually thinking that we would be able to feint his own Hypno before he actually does feint us. My opponent does make a swap out into Mantine. That was a very bad play for me, not only because both of us did feint at the same time, but also because I did actually have to use a shield against his Hypno. So my Frenzy Plant does charge up. It is going to be doing a lot of neutral damage against him. So we do see my opponent's first shield come out. I do expect this to be a Bubble Beam and not any flying type charge move. As I expected, it was actually a Bubble Beam that was okay, although it did actually give us an attack debuff. It barely did even scratch my own Meganium. Plus that attack debuff is now gone because I did make a swap out into another Pokemon. So my Weather Ball does charge up. My opponent's Obstagoon does get to his Night Slash right here. I do know that it is going to be a Night Slash because of how fast that he did get to his charge move. We do get hit by a Night Slash there. So we do throw in a shield for that nice slash. My weather ball is charged up. His obstagoon will for sure faint from this weather ball. Weather ball being a very strong water type charge move, but not only that is because obstagoon was also very low. He does actually get to another nice slash right here, which it is going to be okay if I do actually faint. Nice slash does go through. We did take a direct hit from that. And my Politoed does actually get the first faint. That is very good because my weather ball will be able to charge up and possibly just get more damage off, enough damage off from my Meganium to actually survive with a pretty decent amount of damage done to his Mantine. So my Frenzy Plant does charge up. Frenzy Plant being a only grass type charge move, grass types will be doing super effective damage against water types, so not very effective damage against flying types. Frenzy Plant, we do get hit by a Bubble Beam. It still won't matter because Frenzy Plant being just a very strong grass type charge move, that we will be this will be able to faint his Mantine. We do get a shield off there. That was actually his final shield. He is very low enough that this Frenzy Plant or even my Vine Whip will be enough to do enough damage to actually faint him. Do get to that great, instantly faints that Mantine, allowing us to win the 5th and final round. Good game to Pokémon. Alright guys, so that will be the end of today's video. If you guys did enjoy, please consider dropping a like, subscribing, turning notifications on, comment down below what you guys think of this team, and with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.